One of the things I learned from my time in Zen, particularly on retreat, where you quite deliberately maintain the thread of your attention, your attention, and your energetic alignment, your intention, sowing it through each minute, through each second over a period of days, allowing it to gain momentum. That momentum, that refinement of mind, whilst in some ways temporary, is exactly what you need to bypass just the excessive verbal nonsense, the garbage that is flying through our mind almost continually. But it's a mistake to think you can fight that babble, use force. You might be able to concentrate for some time, develop your juriken, your power, your tanden, become almost laser-like. But this, again, is temporary. This is a neurological phenomenon, a biological assistant. But if you truly want to awaken, if you truly want to connect and to go home whilst you're still here, because that's the gold, make no mistake, that's the gold. You need to do that in your very life. You need to make your life the temple. It's hard to do. Life is frenetic, interrupting, even obnoxious, rude, surprising, chaotic. Depending on your life situation, you may have more or less of that. It is partly up to you to create a life that has enough room for space, enough room for freedom, and enough room for practice to develop that which will connect you to the thing that you care about most. Create space wherever you can. Pause as often as you can. Feel as often as you can. People vastly underestimate the power of practice, the power of single-mindedness, the power of saying no to all of the things that get in the way. I myself have been guilty for a long time for letting the world intrude in on what I need. And the irony is, when I stop it doing that, when I take control of my own kingdom, if you like, which might just be your house, I actually have much more space, much more energy, much more clarity and wisdom to actually give to myself and the world, which is what I wanted to do to begin with. But you have to protect it, you have to make it, you must architect it and create whatever bubble you can within the situation that life is affording you. And if it doesn't afford you enough, firstly you should reflect on how you're relating to that. What are you attached to emotionally? What are you avoiding? You might be avoiding those horror stories in the mind that say something's going to happen, which it rarely does. You're almost certainly avoiding difficult sensations in the body. Fear, anger, sadness is all there. And you're up to all kinds of tricks to make sure you don't touch them. But space allows you to actually touch your life and see what's really going on. You have to contact it. Experience is everything. You can't deal with this in the abstract. You must go into your life. And if you go in far enough, you'll come out into a clearing while still being here. I would recommend If you're feeling a bit stuck, if you have had spiritual illumination that is now in the background, just a little program running on the side of the main desktop of your life, to bring that into the foreground. Yes, first find space, but also get into feeling, get into the body. Most people aren't doing this. I didn't do it for a very long time, despite training as a psychologist. You'd think I'd know. I didn't, not really. I covered it up with tricks and education and degrees, and it's useful, but it's far more useful to combine it with reality. Get into the body, learn to feel from the heart, from the chest. You can feel anything. Obviously your body, you're here. The more you feel your body, the more you notice that whatever sensations of solidity there might be, if you go in far enough, they too become ephemeral. You feel the space around you, almost like a mind touch. The stones, the hardness, the randomness, yet the collection of order. Somehow all this has a feeling. The sea, you can reach out to it, even though you're not there. I say you're not there, your body's not there. Can you prove that your mind isn't? What did it feel like, the sky in comparison? How far it reaches up? There's no ceiling. It goes off into space. A rock in space. If you allow yourself to feel that so-called macro, you realize you're here in the micro. It gives you an entirely different perspective. But also that micro goes down too, into the fibers and organs and cells and molecules, atoms and more of your own body, and all the space and the movement. So the more you feel all of this, the more you realize you are the river. You are life. The only reason that we miss that is because we are thinking about it. And as soon as you think about anything, you are at least one step removed from who you are, which is here. And you don't need to do anything to be who you are. Nothing at all. And you combine that space, that freedom, allowing anything to arise. Don't fight the mind, don't fight thoughts, don't fight anything. Be that reed in the wind, be flexible, and allow all your energy to move and tell you what it needs to tell you, and it wants to tell you a lot. And in that kind of spacious freedom, you develop that real focus of the warrior. Someone who can put the world aside and experience something truly special. Something really worth living for.